So 3 scrimmages. I was joking earlier. When they win, it's considered a game. When they lose, it's just a scrimmage. Today was particularly ugly. I mean, credit to Phoenix, they're a young team. I don't think they got a shot at actually battling back into the playoff picture, but they showed up. The Raptors turned over the ball a ton, and they got burned. But what do you make of the 3 scrimmages? I think their intensity for the most part has been fairly high, and the guys who are actually going to lead them anywhere came out of it healthy and seemed to get their feet wet. What did you make of the 3 scrimmages so far?
Yeah, I was encouraged, all things considered. I think, well, first of all, the top 2 and maybe even the only 2 priorities for the Raptors in the 3 scrimmages were to get guys back into the game shape and ramp up the conditioning, and they did that. They slowly eased the minutes back up to the point where guys were playing 20, 25 minutes, and I think that's pretty solid. Nobody looked really gassed or anything after their 25 minutes. And the second thing, obviously, was keeping everybody healthy. And there was a little bit of a scare on Sunday with Fred VanVleet going down with a knee injury, but he was fine. They held him out of the rest of that game as a precaution, but he played today and looked pretty good. And it sounds like everyone made it out of these scrimmages okay and healthy. And for the Raptors, given what they've been through all year, dealing with all the injuries, that's a major success in and of itself. And then, yeah, I think when you break down a lot of the individual things, you mentioned a few of those guys, the veterans, Lowry and Ibaka, looked good and ready to go. I mean, Lowry took 4 charges in 3 games that meant nothing, which tells you that Kyle Lowry is definitely back and ready to go. And then the young guys, I thought Terrence Davis, who we talked about last week as being an X factor for the Raptors, he looked really good. And my biggest takeaway, actually, and maybe this is where we go with this, my biggest takeaway from the 3 scrimmages was OG Anunoby. I thought the continued evolution of his offensive game really stood out, and that was especially encouraging.
J. Lou, where are you at with Gasol? I had a chat with the gentleman when this show first started, and he looked different to me. His hair is different. He did not look like the guy that I saw that was winning a championships. Where are you at with his game? Is he dialed in? Is he ready to rock?
Well, it was really hard to tell. The other day, he played 10 minutes on Sunday. I mean, he looked pretty good in the small sample size, understanding that it was a very small sample size. He didn't even play in the second half. Today, I mean, as Brian mentioned, the Raptors did not look good today. They were not engaged today. Of anything to take away from the game today, it might be that Marc Gasol, in his whatever it was, close to 20 minutes of action, looked pretty good. I mean, he was moving well. He blocked a couple shots, which isn't necessarily something you expect to see from Gasol. So maybe that tells you that he's in good shape. He's spry. He's obviously lost a bunch of weight and is in good physical condition. But all the other stuff, I mean, he's got such a high basketball IQ. That's the first thing that usually comes up with Gasol. That's not going anywhere after a 4-month layoff. So I mean, even immediately, even on Sunday, that's something that you notice, the way that the ball is moving when he's on the floor, the way that other guys are just, they're better, they're more confident. They then move the ball more when he's on the floor. I just think offensively and defensively, this team is a better team when he's healthy and when he's playing. He's the type of guy that can fit in with any group, with any lineup, no matter what style of play. So, I mean, I think he's a huge key to their success. And the fact that he's been able to have all this time to rest and to heal up and to move past that hamstring injury, that's the silver lining of this weird 4.5 month stretch off that they've had.